Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be discussing how to get into role-playing, what game you should play first, and how to play that game in its most basic sense. First I'm going to talk about some of the things that you might have seen that you shouldn't play. And the first thing of these is 4th edition. This is a great game, it gets a bad rap, but it is not great for your first time. It is fairly complicated and different from pretty much everything else. So don't play this one for your first game. Play it later on. But next is Call of Cthulhu. This is obviously an H.P. Lovecraft inspired game, and it's a really good game. It's not great for your first time playing any type of RPG. It's again fairly complicated and different. It's skills based, which is probably not going to be your favorite thing. It's not very action packed, which is probably what you take part in. Next up, we have Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest. This game is just kind of ugly to look at. It's in its, again, playtest stage. The art is not great because there's only a few pieces, and the ones that are just ugly. It's just not fun of a read. It's a D20 system, so if after you play your first game, which I'm about to talk about, then you should play this if you want to, but don't start with this one. Next up, we're going to talk about Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This game does not hold up well if you are a video game player, which a lot of people that are playing role-playing games, typical role-playing games are. They play video games, they figure out, they heard about tabletop RPGs. Oh, that sounds interesting, but this is not a great way to start with that. This is very difficult. Not insanely difficult, but it's pretty difficult to learn, pretty difficult to play, and just not super user-friendly. Art is great, though. I at least think it is. It's not the best edition to start with, or game to start with. And it's the best game because this is Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. This is what you want. It's probably going to be the easiest for you to get your hands on. This is just the best that you can start with. But it's not the first thing you should buy, because that should be the starter set. I don't have the whole thing, but I do have this right here, the starter set rulebook. And this gives you all the basics, pre-made characters, which is something that a lot of people try to make characters the first time. Don't do that unless you really take the time, spend the money, learn all the rules for that. I'm not going to explain that in this video. This is all about playing the game. It's making the characters fun, it's your own character, but I'm just going to talk about all of this if you can read backwards, or if it shows up backwards in the final footage, I don't know. This is where you should start. You should buy the starter set. It's 12 to 20. I don't know if you can get it for 12. That would be. I think it's the cheapest they could be. This is where you can start. So you can go over basics, how to play it, and what you should want to earn the starters. So talk about your 6. For that, you need dice. Probably dice. It's very fun shapes. There, you might have something. 6-sided dice. And maybe some 12s and some 10s, but you probably don't have some 4 or 7. So you familiarize yourself with the size of the cat. Because if you don't have to, so that's the first thing you should do. It's pretty easy. So you want to familiarize yourself with 6 abilities. And these abilities are I know they are been playing so these are strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom. These are the 6 characteristics that have. These are basically so straight that is what you actually use your weapon. Intelligence or charisma, spells, magic, stuff like that. So, how you want to start is we're going to talk about trying to be the best way. Skills. Skills are basically more specific than resource. I don't have the list actually. So I'm just going to read off the different skills real fast. They are acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, which is like magic, athletics, deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, religion, sleight of hand, stealth, and survival. These are basically more specific. So, say you're gonna you're trying to sneak up on an enemy. Instead of just rolling dexterity, you would roll. Instead of just rolling for dexterity, you would roll stealth. You would add your stealth and not just your dexterity. And these are basically like you get more chance. That's the basics of it. Yes, I should start before we can. This is the most important item I have, which one is I. And this is basically just for everything on the damage. But if attack, so saving throw, which are basically someone's like a shot contest. Or like you're trying to lift her up, you would, and it was like tumbling down on top of you, and you would like hold them up. That would be strength. Saving throws and skill checks are similar, but saving throws are basically they're used to save against things. So constitution would be against poison, wisdom, someone was trying to learn intelligence. Needed to like think quick, dexterity would to be like drawn to the way, stuff like that. Yeah, so those are the basics of skill checks, and you'll have a bunch of different modifiers and pluses and minuses to add to craft. I roll 27. That's most important. Insides most important. So this comment. Combat starts with the master or the master. The master, by the way, is the narrator. They narrate these adventures. They play the monster. So that's what the dungeon master. They search the dungeon master turns to determine its dialogue is older editions. I'll use it. It's just the dungeon master will say, alright, you guys have some attacking the monsters. They only get to attack with this round. Round is this round. You've got to hit. No, that's 10 rounds. I don't know what time. So basically, a round is the turn that goes over. So this would be the first person goes, the last person goes, then goes. It's that simple. So So it doesn't make it from surprise. And then after that, there's an big old initiative is just to get consent that I will, plus your dexterity. And this determines whoever has the highest initiative goes first, second highest goes second. So that's how the order of combat. So that's basically what on your turn. You can do certain things with those. Next up, we have movement and position. I'm just reading out here. This is basically this is how far. it's not very common. It's really ridiculous. This can be important if you're playing with like really battle map, which is you just miniatures and you just move them around as figurines, and that shows you. That's basically that's most of it. 5 feet is 1 square. Yeah. So we have actions. So on the turn, you can take action, bonus action, and a bonus action. 3 actions are things that you can just read it. Your action is casting a spell, like trying to pick a lock. 3 actions you talk, and the bonus actions are specified. Bonus actions. Actions though, they're one action. So you can't go. I stab someone with a sword and cast a spell. You have to choose one of the other. Most classes that are good at stabbing things aren't great at casting. Making an attack. Actually, and also I want to point out that your actions are can be more specific than just I make an attack. They have things like you can. Oh, you also have to move an action, which is how much you move on. You get 7 out. So what you can do is you can attack, dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide, ready, search, or use. Help is you basically give the other person a bonus, which is later. Attack, so for the dash, you double your movement, but you cannot take your attack. That takes up their action. Disengage does a couple of attacks of opportunity, which are basically if I was here and I moved here, this enemy would get to attack. That's if you disengage. That's dodge. I actually don't dodge it. So, basically, that just means dodge. Fairly sure. You can roll a dexterity saving throw with advantage. Bonus on strength damage. And instead of taking damage, help someone get a bonus. Hide. That's what it is. Ready, it would be like you draw your sword to stab someone. And this basically, I'm actually not sure. Yeah, so you can decide what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, and then when that happens, so let's say I'm going to stab the goblin when it takes a step towards me. Well, you stab the goblin when it takes a step towards me. And then Oh, search, self-explanatory, he's not there. So here's how you choose a target. So let's say I'm going to attack that dog. Then you determine your modifiers. This basically this means the DM will determine, they have cover, so it's going to be hard for you to hit. So you get a -5 or something. And then spells can give you abilities. So, you have a +5, so that can do that. You have special abilities. There are races and classes. So, if you're dwarf, that potion. This, I'm throwing this up. This poisonous potion at a dwarf. So, and it'll not do much damage. And then you use this basically you can make an attack roll, which 20 versus the opponent's armor. So armor cost is a defense score that every creature has. So if I rolled 15 and the person had an armor class of 16, I would. If I rolled 17, if I rolled 16 or above, then that would mean I would hit, and I roll damage, which is as simple as my weapon does 10 sided damage. I roll 1 plus 1, 2 damage. That's basically what it's explaining it. Ability modifiers that start add to your roll, and proficiency bonus, which from I believe level 2 to 5, not 1 to 5 is +2, it might be +8. So when proficiency bonus is +2, basically that just if you roll a 1, you always fail, and something extra bad happens. So if you roll 1, you're trying to stab a guy. Well, guess what? You do it wrong, and you hit yourself, and then you take, 4 damage or something. If you roll 20, you automatically hit double your damage. So, yeah. There's rules about unseen and invisibility and stuff. I'm not going to get super into that. Range attacks. Crossbow. It's like a regular attack, but instead of your strength, you add dexterity. That's it. There are some things with range. That's not super important. I don't usually, if you're going to shoot someone, like relatively what the range is. Melee, stab someone with the sword. That's pretty self-explanatory. Opportunity attacks. I know I described this earlier, but this is what you do is if someone moves away from you, I get an extra attack. They are basically defenseless against it. Besides their armor class, of course. That's it. It might seem like super confusing if you read it and you see they get an opportunity attack and they move away, but also they move forward. They don't. That's not a rule, by the way. I don't think. Yeah, it's not. Again, disengage prevents against opportunity attacks. Weapon fighting takes up your bonus action. So basically that just means 2 attacks. Yeah. Takes up your bonus action. Cover is just that. If you hide behind something, your armor class gets increased. Damage, you have hit points, and if they get reduced to 0, you are incapacitated. You have to make 3 death saves to see if you're still alive. If you roll above 10 with no modifiers, you stay. You mark 1 down as successful. If you're below 10, you mark 1 down as a failure. If you get 3, I believe it's 3 failures. It might not be 3, it might be 1. But if you get 3 failures, you die. If you get 3 successes, you live. If you get -1, not a -1. If you get a 1, you automatically just die. There's no coming back from that. If you get a 20, you automatically come back to life with 1 hit point. There's different types of damage, so there's like slashing, bludgeoning, piercing. Don't worry about that. You can heal with potions and rest, which I will talk about later. And yeah, and when you kill creatures, they die at 0 points. That's just the way it is. Now we're going to talk about adventuring. Those are the basics of combat and probably very difficult to follow. So there's a bunch of rules in here about like climbing and swimming. Don't worry about that. I never really use a battle map to adventure unless I'm about to set up an encounter. I just say, oh, you go here to here, and I have just like a little map like this. And just say, hey, go there. This is the right way. But, yeah, you can do stuff. I'm not going to go into that, but basically you can do longer jumps, you can do higher jumps, and then you can climb and swim. I guess this would be useful if you were like a dungeon and there was a pool of water and you had to swim across it. Now we're going to talk about rests. Rests are, there's 2 types of rest. There's a short rest, which is how long? It's at least 1 hour long, and so you get to roll one of your hit dice, which is your level, and then what you roll, and then the maximum amount of hit points with no modifiers that you start out with. So like if I'm a level 1 thief, I get 1d6. Actually, it's 1d. Crap, get my additions confused. Yeah, so you get 1d8. That's how much you heal, and you have a certain number of them that you can use. At first level is only 1, at second level it's 2, at third level it's 3, and so on and so forth. A long rest is 8 hours long. It's sleeping. You basically just heal all your hit points, and that's how it goes. So we're going to talk about now some armor and weapons. So armor proficiency basically means there's 3 types of armor. I guess I should start out saying there's light armor, there's medium armor, and there's heavy armor. Heavy armor is this, like plate mail. It's super heavy, big armor that's like what people wore when they're jousting. There's a scene of it in A Knight's Tale where the guy gets on his horse like really punkily, and that's what heavy armor would be like. Medium armor would be more like it's not as clunky and as heavy armor, but it's also not as swift as light armor, which we'll talk about in a second. It's kind of more like, this is something that you would wear, it has metal on it, but it's not super heavy. Light armor is like leather. That's what it is. And then we have weapons. You have weapon proficiency. That basically means you can use a weapon well. There's a bunch of different stuff like finesse, which means you can use dexterity instead of strength. Ammunition for bows and arrows. Then that's really it. Besides spellcasting, which they're basically the same goes for them. So I'm going to talk about the adventures that you should buy once you're out of the Lost Mine of Vandal. You should actually probably buy this instead. This is Waterdeep Dragons. This is a fantastic adventure that is in my opinion, the best out of all. It's amazing. Next up, we're going to talk about Fort of the Dragon Queen. This is terrible. You never get this book, even if it seems different, even if it's it's easier to run. Oh, it's not. It's terrible. If it wasn't D&D, I would read this book. This is the only other one that I own. It's called Out of the Abyss. Really good adventure. It's the demons and stuff. Get it. That's basically it. I just want to see how much time I have. Yep. That's it. After this, I would recommend trying Call of Cthulhu. That's a good game. It's pretty complicated, but it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Don't try 3rd edition. It's the worst edition of D&D. So,